Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast, episode 74 on a Monday Night Football. Here to talk about everything that happened in Liga MX weekend. Leon's latest match versus Atlas, crucial match ahead of the second leg of CCL for Leon, which we'll definitely talk about that today. For everybody joining us on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, let us know if you're listening. Let us know your thoughts throughout the conversation. We'll post your thoughts and everything on the screen. So thank you for joining us. We're going to first talk about Atlas, but of course I am not the only P to this pod, as I like to say. Carlos, Louis, and Jose. Gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight?
Excited.
Pretty good.
Very happy.
Good. Yeah.
I didn't think we were gonna make it 3-0, but hey, scoring 3 is always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give my reasons in a bit, but hard pressed. I'd be hard pressed not to call that the best win of 2021 so far for Leon.
Yeah, it was an impressive win. I think everyone was on point, especially Osby.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll definitely talk about
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I see what you did there.
So first talk about the match. Let's go ahead and go to our pregame. Carlos, are we ready for a pregame?
Let's do it.
Do it.
So if you missed the match, this was Jairo Moreno's first start in, I think it was like 6 months, since October of last season when he got injured. And he looked all right. He looked a lot better than he did against Santos when he got some garbage minutes. So it's good to see that he's retaking his good form. We'll get to that in a minute. Also, we had Luis Montes return to the lineup, and boy, did he have a beast of a game. Guys, Jairo and Chapo, what did we think?
Jairo looking a lot better than that display that he gave like on a couple of weeks, or is it like a week now? Back anyway. And Chapo, Chapo is just being Chapo. He's just pretty much continuing from where he left off before he had to sit out.
Yeah, I mean, Chapo showing he's still the glue that holds this work of art together. This machine, the cog that makes this machine work. He showed what difference he makes. Jairo, after seeing him play in against Toronto, I thought he looked very, very good against Toronto. So I wasn't too surprised to see him come in and play well today. Yeah, he wasn't the one I was surprised to come in after a long layoff and perform. That was a different player who started today. But yeah, I mean, I expected both from them. It was a little nervy seeing that lineup in general go in and see what they might do, but they performed. They came through.
Yeah. I think Chapo had an amazing game. We'll obviously get to his 2 assists. But Jairo, I mean, for me, he was my favorite of the night, for sure.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
he just makes everything look so easy. Like you look at a play and you're like, he's not gonna do. No, he does it. He does the impossible sometimes. For me, so
I agree. And yet you still want Osby in there. I'll never understand it. One goal in which the goalkeeper was way out too far. Like he got punked on that play.
Well, I mean,
doesn't defend all of Osby's shortcomings. I'm sorry.
Well, it takes skill to hit the ball. It's not like he built the play up. He just caught a lucky rebound and he hit the ball and it happened. It was a good strike.
Right. He's got to do it. He's got to do it again for me to think that even a stop clock is right twice a day. Like he's got to be able to do that like with some kind of frequency, to strike like that with some kind of frequency in order for me to think it's something he can repeat.
I mean, I bet you we're talking about fullback here, but what if we're talking about like a winger? What if that was Campbell? Would he score?
I mean, who are you? Yeah, there's an argument to be made, I suppose, for putting in Jairo. He performed well at a winger position when he's usually been playing farther back. So there's an argument to be made about whether you should play them both. But I don't think you want to be taking either Campbell or Meneses out of the lineup on a regular basis, which is something you would have to do in order to make that work. But I mean, they struck gold. They struck gold for one day. My thing is, like, one of the biggest reason probably that I consider this the best win of 2021 for Leon is the result they got with a B team. Like when Ambriz has experimented, when he's tinkered, just because he thinks he can or whatever the reason might be. Like, when has it ever gone well for us? Like, hardly ever. Certainly not to this degree. I mean, I can't. When they've made that many changes to a starting lineup in a league match, like I can't think of a one single win. And as well as Ambriz has done, as well as great as the Ambriz era has been, like I can't remember a time where he made this many changes and got a positive result, a win. I just can't remember one time.
Well, the last time we saw a lineup kind of sort of like this was in match week 1, where we just got blown out by Tigres.
Yeah,
and we looked nothing like the championship team. But a lot of those guys started against Atlas, and they actually looked pretty good playing together. I mean, there was no. I mean, yeah, we had Chapo in there who was commanding the ship, but I mean, a lot of these guys. I think we had 8 new faces in there. A lot of these guys were started in match week 1 against Tigres, and we just looked terrible. We looked out of sync. We didn't look like a team at all. But this time we did. Against Atlas, who's actually playing a lot better than Tigres this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, sure, a few of the regulars subbed in the second half to make it look a little bit closer to a standard starting lineup. But I mean, Navarro got to sit, Colombato got to sit, Tecillo got to sit. None of these guys. Avion got to sit. Or did Avion come in? I can't remember. He might have come in. I think Avion came in.
And Meneses also got to sit.
Meneses came in.
Meneses came in. I think Meneses came in also as a sub.
He did.
But the guys I mentioned didn't play a single minute. Like, they got a match off, and these guys have been so crucial for us. And for them to be able to do that, I mean, maybe this new vaunted depth that we think we have this season compared to other seasons is real. I mean, they certainly went out and showed that that's a possibility. Against an Atlas team that had been playing very, very well. They hadn't lost at home in their last 5 matches. They were on an uptick the same as we were, and they really, really needed these points. They needed these points desperately, and they didn't get them. So, that's for me. And also, just we don't have a great track record of coming off a disappointing loss in CONCACAF and doing well in the next league match either. Like, putting that aside and coming back in the next league match and performing. We don't have a great track record of that. I mean, the league matches in and around the 2 CCL fixtures last year were not good.
We didn't lose against Toronto.
It felt like a loss, but it wasn't.
It felt like a loss to me. I was going
to say, but it wasn't. We didn't lose.
But it wasn't a good result, and then it's one we have to bounce back from. But I mean, I'm thinking against, for example, when we lost again. I hate having to bring this up. It's just it's part of the thing. Bringing up LA. I try never to bring up LA, but after LA, like, we were like, okay, this happened. It sucked, but we gotta try to bounce back from this. And they went to Guadalajara to play against Chivas and completely laid an egg. And so they didn't do that this time. They went out. They put it, una cosa es una cosa, otra cosa es otra. They put that aside. They went out and they got a great result with an alternate team. I mean, everything about this you have to like.
Yeah.
Especially because they got to 20 points, and that mathematically, I mean, they would probably have to lose all the rest of their matches, and they still might make the repechaje. So, like, this was a big result for them.
Yeah, but now, like you mentioned, I believe after all the matches were done yesterday, now we are within a grasp of 4 points. So we still gotta wait for the other thing. So if if we win all the remaining games, which is very possible, it's doable. We just and then whatever happens with other teams, we just might make it somehow in 4th place. That would be amazing, guys. I mean, if you tell me that we like even the fact that we can even that's a thing, it's
the fact that it's possible.
Yeah,
The fact that that's even possible.
From what we
Mathematically
started
possible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
to how
Yeah.
we are, it's what a rebound.
It would be nice to have that week off, the repechaje week off, instead of having to play it, knowing that we already qualified directly.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of it's kind of silly that this is even mathematically possible. It's kind of it doesn't speak very well of how forgiving the sistema de competición is in Liga MX. Like, really, we shouldn't be sneezing at 4th place. But hey, I mean, we've been playing very well. We've gotten a little bit of luck. I mean, Querétaro did us a real solid against Santos last night, keeping them they're in 4th. They're only 2 points ahead in 4th. Puebla can still beat Pachuca and keep us a little farther out of it, but we still have a great chance. And I don't think they do. I don't know if they do strength of schedule and that kind of analysis in Liga MX like they do in NFL and NBA and stuff like that. But we have to have one of the easier remaining schedules in terms of the remaining 3 matches. I mean, Leon has to have among the more winnable schedules in that. So I don't think it's far-fetched at all to think we can win out. And if we get to 29 points, I bet we're in the top 4. And that would be amazing.
Which is insane. Like, thinking about how much we were kind of just a cry for help at the beginning of the couple weeks, because we saw how the team kind of slacked a bit and was like non-motivated, and we knew we had all these, we got TCL coming up, like, come on guys, just the ambition of trying to get the bicampeonato. So it's a real turnaround. And I agree, I think this particular lineup was very surprising. I did not see so many rotations, and I was kind of on the uneasy side for a bit. Which, Carlos, you want to give us a lineup, but I think we have some conclusions from that lineup and how the game unfolded.
Yeah, let's go over the lineup really quick. Brace yourselves, because there's some big surprises here. So we had Cota, and then we had Gil Killer Buron on the right side as a right back. We had Pedro Hernandez. Big surprise, awesome match. Andres Mosquera and Osvi. So that's our back line. Then we had Montes, also in the middle, Jairo, Godinez and Campbell, and then Gigliotti up top. Guys, eight new faces. What do we think? Who had the best game out of the subs, aside from Gigliotti, because obviously he scored the brace?
Meneses? I don't think Mena.
I mean the starters.
No. Of the people who don't normally start, who started today. Right? Yeah.
You're talking about the I guess the second string starting.
Yeah,
line.
the second string. Yeah.
Aside
from Gigliotti, because I know you guys are going to say Gigliotti because he scored the brace, and I would agree.
I'll go out on a limb here and say Gil Killer had a very, very nice game.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he was lucky.
He was lucky not to get that red.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, his recuperación was good. I mean, I saw him go. He won a couple of really nice duels with Malcorra. He went in there and showed no fear, and that's
which
why
he's one tough cookie.
He's one tough cookie. Like, going in there. I mean, you guys talk about what a cumplidor Osfi is, and that's why you like him. Well, you got to say the same about Gil Killer
right?
Today, especially like he hasn't sniffed the kind of minutes that Osfi has. Like, he hasn't gotten nearly the same kind of opportunity. So I was pleased with his performance, for sure.
Yeah.
Fortunate or not to not get a red.
Yeah, and I predicted that he would possibly start, and he started. So let's go.
Good eye.
Have like a little handy thing, like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also say Jairo. So, I mean, Kari would probably say Jairo, but Jairo, I mean, is he really?
Yeah, but that's
really in category. Like, is he really in that same category?
Just because lately he's been looking really rusty. I mean, in this particular game, when it's Montes and Jairo, pretty much the like ongoing starters. I cumplió. Just like Montes, I think both of the players que siempre they have such a high level of game that we know cumplieron in their role. I mean, I just Jairo's just amazing to watch. He's just I love him. I enjoy him so much. Like
he is, but when he's on form, we wouldn't be surprised to see him start. Or in general, we wouldn't be that surprised to see him start. Whereas Gilburon, we're very surprised to see him start. So the question is, among the surprises, like who among the people who were surprised to see start,
I guess
is
a youngster, because it's about time he gave minutes to a youngster. You know what I mean? And I kind of was like, okay, so we see Mosquera, we see Pedro Hernandez. Okay, so who's gonna be like the leader between both of them? You know what I mean?
I was surprised to see a center back though, because the only other time, I think not only Ambriz, but like Leon coaches in general, like, well, no, I guess at least like in the last three, because usually center backs before him there was Cristian Torres, there was Jorge Duran, there was what's his name? I forget his name, but his last name is Ortiz. And out of all those three, only two of them I remember starting again each match. Duran never got to do that, and I was surprised because that's difficult. Like, you know, it's easier to either start if it's in defense. Like usually you would go for like a right back.
Fullback.
Sure.
So
yeah. No, he had a great match.
Yeah.
He had a great match for it being his first start in Liga MX. It was a great match. I mean, he was faking out the Atlas players, you know, like I saw like 3 or 4 times where he faked them out. Very composed, like he made some really good passes. He did miss a few tackles that I remember seeing, but Mosquera always had his back. But yeah, I mean, 20 years old and playing like that against a really good Atlas team, that's really good. That's a good thing for the club. I think that's why Nacho Ambriz wanted to keep Nacho Gonzalez on to try to get Pedro Hernandez, you know.
Well, he did say that he wanted. I believe he mentioned that in an interview that he wanted him to stay to like mentor the. Yeah. I believe it's him and someone else that they're mainly want to go with in the future. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of surprising. Like, no matter how you look at it, like maybe it's to give our guys a rest, but that's still when in a time when it's either like these 3 points mean a lot. So if you put the youngster and then you get a negative result, it takes guts to do that. So I was personally surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I was pulling into Guadalajara by the time I saw the lineup, and I was like, this lineup screams to me, let's just get out of here with a draw. Like, that's what that lineup screamed to me. And I was like, why did I come all this way just to see them not even try for the win?
But you were matching, you have the matching jersey, you know, you just were feeling yourself. You got some color on you, you know, the sun.
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand 5 o'clock games, by the way, because I can't see anything.
Well, I was up in the rafters. I told you guys off air about the how they made the ticketing procedure and how kind of not ideal it was, and like in order to since I felt that I had to buy tickets for 3 games, I didn't want to spend that much on them, so I got the tickets up in the nosebleeds. But that turned out to be good because Estadio Jalisco has a big what do you call it? Like, it's not I got a roof. It doesn't cover the pitch, but it covers the top of the stands, and so I was out of the sun's way for the whole afternoon, which was nice. No, I don't regret going. I would never ever regret going to any game, even if who's a really bad player I can think of. I don't know. Even if
Nick Killer.
No. Like of days gone by. like even if Juan Cuevas were starting at striker or something, I wouldn't regret ever going to see Leon play. But I got there and I was like, really, this lineup is not. You don't put out this lineup if you want to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they pulled it out.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel confident. So, but hey, nos sacamos la lotería. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt okay just because we had Chapo Montes in there, and it feels anytime Chapo's not in the lineup, that's when
Mhm.
I feel bad.
Uneasy.
I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be good. But anytime Chapo Montes is in there, you put him around a bunch of youth players, he's going to make them look like all stars. So, yeah, I was confident when I saw Montes in there.
I think my biggest question, I kind of felt uneasy because I wasn't sure how this particular group of players worked together, especially in a crucial Atlas game right before CCL. My biggest question was the last attacking third with Campo, Godinez, and Gigliotti. It was just like, okay, well, how is that going to look up top? You know what I mean?
How's
Because
that gonna
to
work?
me,
Mhm.
I mean, Godinez, I was looking at his stats on SofaScore, right? And then, on paper, he had 17 accurate passes, 94.4% accurate. But to me, I think, honestly, in this kind of matchup, they should have given Nico Sosa a chance rather than
I agree.
Godinez.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know if that's
he just wasn't threatening. He wasn't threatening. I mean, every time like on the wing, you're charged a little bit of like handling and possession and doing something like. Whereas if you're just a target man, and you're just waiting for that last pass.
Mhm.
As a winger, he was useless. I mean, they closed in on
he's
him
not
every
a
time.
winger. You know what I mean?
I
It's
know,
just
and he was playing on the wings, and they were closing in on him. They were closing in on him, and like it was like taking candy from a baby.
yes.
Like
I think that's the best way to say it.
He wasn't. He wasn't at all. He was not a threat to anyone or anything at any point when he was on the pitch on the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's safe to say, then stop Borrao the killer. Then like completely when Godinez starts at him.
I mean, I've said in past podcasts that Nacho has this like instinct with Godinez, and he will continue to push him to start. He's out of sync.
He's not the only one. He's not the only one. Nacho Gonzalez had said that he deserves a chance. That Godinez, is a really good striker and deserves a chance. I mean, he's got his fans there, and either current or former in the organization. I don't understand it. To me, he's never shown anything that makes me believe he warrants minutes. But I think I agree. I think he's still going to keep getting them as long as somebody's is there.
Yeah. I think he's one of those players that just doesn't fit into the system.
That's what I was going to say. He just doesn't fit, period.
Yeah. He's another Leo Ramos who you just have him on the field and it's 10 players plus Leo Ramos.
But at least Leo Ramos occasionally did some things to make you think, he deserves a shot. He scored some goals,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
got a few goals.
I'm pretty sure, but has Godinez even scored in La Sub-20?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he. I'll find it.
I checked that.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Nico Sosa should have been given opportunity because he doesn't play bad. You know what I mean? As much as we've talked about, like we're always yo-yoing with Nico Sosa, he's not a bad player. You know what I mean? It's just I think he's been shadowed by kind of what Ambriz is used to and the players that he's used to playing with. And I don't know. I just don't know what to conclude of him at the end of the season. Are we gonna see him at some point, or is he completamente borrado? That's the question.
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I hope so. I told you. I mentioned this to you guys in the chat. He wasn't brought in to be a cheerleader, but he really loves playing for this club, and he loves being around his colleagues. And you can tell, like when he was so happy for Gigliotti on that, especially in that second goal, like the way they celebrated, the way he celebrates. I think those guys are pretty good friends, and like how happy he was for him. I think he's just he oozes like positive locker room presence. So it'd be nice if he could get a chance to show at least one more chance to show that he can contribute on the field as well. But I mean, I think he's a guy that the team likes having around, that his fellow players like having around. Just a positive presence for the club. And I think he's better than Godinez for this club. I think he's better. Neither are good, neither are great, neither are optimal. But Nico Sosa is better. From what I've seen of the two.
Yeah. I wouldn't have any problem with him staying, but I don't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure, isn't it the next season when the number of foreign players is gonna go down again?
Yeah.
So there's that too. So yeah, it's difficult because he's a foreign player. So and then if it goes down, that's one more slot that you can't use.
Well, Gigliotti's out.
Okay.
Is he though? I think there's at least a little bit of a debate there now.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't.
I suppose we'll get to that in a bit, but I think there's at least a little bit of a debate there.
I'd rather take that money and make another push for Ibanez.
Yeah, I would too. But
yeah,
who knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Diaz only has one goal in a sub-20.
One goal.
So his entire Leon career, both senior and in youth categories, he only has one goal, and it's in a sub-20.
I think he will be best at another team, but Leon, I don't think it's his fit. We can all conclude that.
He's been here since Apertura 2019.
Yeah, it's been.
I think it's been long enough, if you ask me. So
I agree. While we marinate on that, let's go ahead and talk about Puma Gigliotti. Thoughts, guys. Thoughts.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Puma. Like, the experience that he has, the big match games, the big match experience that he has. Even if he's been sitting for months, if you leave him unmarked, he's still going to score. If you leave him completely unmarked, the way that Atlas did on 2 occasions, that's all it took. He's going to get a good head on the ball, and he's going to give you a chance to score. It doesn't matter if he hasn't been playing. He's got that experience, that big match experience, which is part of the reason they brought him in the first place. And so he came in, and he hasn't played in months. You don't expect anything of him, really. But they left him unmarked, and he produced. And when he's capable of producing in a way that none of our other forwards are. Like, we don't have an aerial game when we talked about this last time, but we don't have an aerial game in the delantera when Davila starts, or when Campbell starts, really. Like, that's just an element of our attack that doesn't exist when those guys start. And when Puma's in there, doesn't matter if he's not on form. I mean, he's got that in his arsenal.
So I think he came into this match motivated. I think he wanted to come in and make a statement because he hasn't been playing all season. Obviously, we know that whatever's going on with this contract, where Leon isn't trying to buy his card, so they're limiting his minutes. But I think he came out making a statement, and I think that statement was backed after the game by Fernando Navarro.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think he just came out extra motivated. And if that's what he has to, if that's how he's going to play, if he's going to play extra motivated to try to get the team to buy his card, I mean that's what the best thing that can happen for us going into Liguilla.
I mean, that's the best way to change people's mind, by scoring goals.
I mean, if he was crucial in the Liguilla, then he's crucial again. I mean, does that give him an upper hand of like, hey guys?
Or at least to show he's still got something in the tank, even if Leon doesn't end up buying his contract, like that he's still got something in the tank, so that another team will.
Well, what's the argument that Fernando Navarro was making? He was saying that that everybody kind of reached their best form in their 30s. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be in your 30s.
I mean, look at Chapo.
True, although you don't see too many target forwards in their mid-30s contributing regularly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
strikers, number nines. You don't see too many 35-year-old number nines. I mean, there's
Mhm.
there's exceptions like Zlatan. He's almost 40, and
but
he'd still be the
but
best
Zlatan
player
is
in Liga
punto y
MX.
aparte.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some rare cases though. They are, but very rare. It's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully he keeps scoring, but I don't know. Like we keep saying that the price tag is too high, but honestly, I don't even know how much it is. So I just heard that it's too high, but maybe it's not even that high. Maybe the thing just doesn't even want to spend, and they rather just spend the money somewhere else. But but that's the only thing he can do. Just get scoring.
I mean, maybe it's too high. Maybe it's too high for the player that he is. Like maybe they'd spend whatever that money is. They would spend on Nico Ibanez, for example, but they wouldn't spend on Gigliotti.
Yeah, and I also think Gigliotti's kind of been too inconsistent with the team. Like, yeah, he's shown up in big matches. He showed up in the finals. He showed up this past match. But I mean, how many times have we talked about where was Gigliotti? He didn't show up and he just blanked out for X amount of games. So I don't know. I think he's just too inconsistent, and I don't think the team is willing to reinvest or make that type of an investment on that kind of player, especially one who's 35.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know how long he's gonna be producing. At least the same amount of goals he's has done until now.
Yeah.
And that's not even, I'm not saying he should be, but you usually want your striker to like the perfect number probably for Liga MX would be 10 and up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Quixote, so last season how much was it, like 7, I believe,
I can't
for him.
remember.
Anyway, how long can he keep doing that? He's like you mentioned, he's 35. He's not gonna get any faster, like whether you like it or not. And he has to rely on our team getting him crosses. I mean, there's no crosses, then he can't score.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think he can create his own shot.
yeah. So those 2 goals that he scored, but both of them were crosses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
one was directly off a corner.
Right. But
yeah.
He would have been the perfect striker when we weren't playing like we are playing now. When we relied on crosses too much, maybe. But I think now, like it says now, I guess for Colomato, I think he does good crosses, but usually at like some of our guys, like I see Meneses crossing, and then many of his shots I see them going wide. Like they're not used to it. Like that's not where their strengths are. Their strengths are to cut in and to adequately inside the area. And that's not what we do. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. If he keeps performing, I'm sure he's gonna turn some heads, and probably the team will be willing to spend. But I'm not sure if he's gonna get a long-term contract. Probably the short-term contract at most.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe another team will be interested.
Shall see. Before we wrap up, anybody want to have any comments on also or George Campbell?
Also, for probably the worst. He didn't have a good game. Definitely not taking Colomato's place anytime soon.
Anybody else?
Jefecitos?
Oof.
No, man. Also was ridiculous. That's all I gotta say. Horrible.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'll give him a 0. That's the first time I'll give anyone a 0 in my life.
That bad?
I don't like him at all. I do not like him at all. Yes, that bad. I think
Wow.
all the times that Atlas was looking dangerously, his fault. But
You probably shouldn't give him a 0, Javier, because like
I'll give him a 0.
you used to give Barreiro 0s, and look how that
I
turned
never
out.
gave Barreiro a 0.
Well, hey,
I'll give. This is my first
that
time
could be
giving
a
anyone a
blessing in
0.
disguise.
Be careful. Carlos probably has footage of you.
Go
Javier.
ahead. No, that's it. I've never given anyone a 0. I've given this guy a 0. That's one of the things that I will say. This guy deserves a 0 because he's gotten the opportunities, and he just proves to me that he's not gonna ever be titular like that again. Like he shouldn't anyway. He shouldn't.
Still better than Jefecito though.
Nah, even though Jefecito has shown in the past better ritmo, better, I think. Cuando estaba en el clausura 2019, I think we kind of saw Jefecito's biggest. Also hasn't even gotten half of that level. Like I've never seen anything good from him in this whole season. Yeah, 0.
Well, I mean, he started over Ivan Rodriguez, so
yeah, but he will never get to a level where Jose he was seleccionado nacional. I don't think we're gonna get to see also.
Yeah, that's the thing. But Jefecito probably isn't going to get back to that level either. At least
he won't, Louis. He probably won't, but he probably won't. And I agree with you. But we're never going to see also even get to half to what he got to that level. That's what I'm saying. Like what we've seen, Jose Ivan Rodriguez may suck for the rest of his career. Still better career than also could ever imagine. Because right now, I'm like, dude, you're getting these opportunities that right now, all these players that got to start, we all know why they got to start, right? Because we're gonna see the main titulares against Toronto. So take advantage. He didn't even show that. He didn't even show that hunger. I don't know what he's doing with Leon. I think we have.
You can ask Pedro Aquino about that because he kind of has something to do in that little trade. But I don't think he's terribly bad. Es que no me llena el ojo a mí. You know what I mean? Like he's just like cumple, but it's like nothing special. I don't see like a wow factor in him. I think he's enough, but I'm not gonna thrash him because I don't think he's done terribly. I just don't. No me llena el ojo completamente to be like, oh my god, awesome. I want to hit. It's just cumple and that's it to me. Kind of a solid-ish player.
I'll trash him. I've heard people trash Gigliotti, and I'm like, okay. I've seen Gigliotti. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the coolest things that I thought Gigliotti could have done in that game. Cayó muchos hocicos, whether you like it or not. Metió sus goles como lo tenía que meter. Hopefully he does play against Toronto because that's what I feel is missing against a team like that. A traditional number 9, centros. The only way you can really have like be dangerous in the aerial factor. But that being said,
I don't know if we'll see him because I expect Toronto to park the bus on us again.
Yeah,
and Atlas didn't do that. Atlas was actually attacking us, and I think that's why they left those spaces for Gigliotti and Chapo to exploit. But I mean, if you start Gigliotti against Toronto, he's just going to be standing in the box waiting for crosses.
Struggling.
Yeah. We don't even know how Toronto's going to come at us, bro. And that's the thing. With Gigliotti, if he starts or if he doesn't start, what I'm saying is with a team like that, how they were playing, I think one of the big, what we saw kind of Leon being dangerous is, I think, tirando centros. I think that's how you beat a team like Toronto. A team with Atlas, you can beat that team, and especially, of course, we play like with siete cambios, that really no son titulares. And Leon did a pretty. I think Chapo Montes is really key too. He's very key because I think he's the one. He's playmaking. He's the one saying, you know what? Let's try to pass it in over here. Let's try to center it. I think he's going to decide if we're going to be a attacking team or like trying to look for a center team. Centro, like I think if Gigliotti does play, because I don't think he's going to start either. But I think if he does play, he could be very dangerous. I'd rather see him play than any other possible striker that we've seen so far, like a Godinez or a Nick Killer or a Davila. I think those 2 goals is going to really make his confidence go way up. And whether he stays or not, I think let's wait for the end of the season. Still got a lot of very important games. And I think that's how you evaluate the whole thing, because I think it's too, like, I think Nick Killer for sure is going to, I would like him to stay for the same reason Luis said, that he does seem to be one of those players he's one of those locker room guys, he le da un buen ambiente, sabe hacer something that JJ Macias has been criticized not to. Do people think that's not a skill you should have? Like you should be able to get along with your friends, because that could you can see how te pueden separar del equipo sometimes because you're not kind of in sync with them, at least in that sense. And I do see Nikita as a player that he's a locker room guy, and maybe he should stay. But I don't know if si lo de los extranjeros is gonna influence in that. Like it's too many so far. I think so. I think he has to go. Gigliotti probably is gonna go. And I think we'll see after that. But again, we'll have to see at the end of the tournament. Like, si cumple de una manera que you're like, yeah, let's give him another. Maybe not buy him, but give him an extension to préstamo or something. Who knows? That's like way down the line still. But against this game, against Atlas, I think also was horrible, and that's it. Like I don't know what else to say. Everyone else, pretty much, I liked everyone else. The opportunities they got. Gil Killer, great. Osvi, great. Like everyone that I could think of.
You thought Osvi was great?
He made a goal. He did his job. That's all I care about. Whether he was great, he did his job, and he sometimes does. I do prefer Yairo Moreno in that situation, in that position, but he did a good job, man. Come on, I'm not gonna hate on anyone except for also. Hopefully, look, it has to be. I can't be like everybody did a good job. I think it's coming from a place of I want him to do better, and I'm not gonna give him his flowers if he's not actually doing what he's supposed to. Like I think Sisu Payas, he was out of sync with the team. And I think he's been there for almost like I don't know how many months, like 4, 3 months. I want to see more from him. If he does get another opportunity, hopefully he shuts me up. But I'm here to get que me caguen el hocico también. That's what I want. But he's not.
Hopefully,
you better step it up.
He follows on the steps of other players that now
don't be Ivan Rodriguez, yeah.
And now son fundamentales. So like Meneses, when he arrived, he wasn't un titular indiscutible. So hopefully maybe
Maybe not in
the first season, but maybe after.
Like you said, right? A blessing in disguise.
Okay.
I agree, man. Like, look, because then the second round, los cuartos de final of the Conca Champions, they're going to be played before La Liguilla, right? Right? It's going to be before La Liguilla.
I think so, yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah, that's going to be like, we need all these players to come on, man, snap out of it. Like, we need everybody to be on top of their game, including also, because he's probably going to play again like that. Like,
he is.
So we need. Yeah, man. Like I just didn't like his game against Atlas. I just thought like I could have seen more from him, especially coming from the fact that you want to fight this puesto. You're giving the opportunity to fight this puesto with Polo Bato. Jefecito is out of the picture. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna get that opportunity and you're just coming to the club, I just want to see a little bit more from everyone else. Everyone else that I saw from Atlas game, I was very much pleased. Like I was. Even on our group chat, I said, watch it win 5-0. The reason why, because I felt these players are going to get their chance to kind of shine, really. And also, like I was telling you guys, like, I would like to see Campbell start. I would like to see these guys start because tantos que fallaron, hopefully, se desquiten con Atlas. And I would just, what we kind of just saw was, Gigliotti, Montes. I think Montes is the key and everything with Leon. But yeah, it was a game. It was a game that I was very much satisfied, except for a couple of things. But yeah, I'm not trying to be like an a-hole with also. I'm just saying like
step your game up.
Yeah, step your game up, man. Step your game up.
When he's not performing, you're right too.
Javier just went on like a 10-minute rant.
Literally.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Moving along, guys.
I just got back from work, and I'm just like,
we thought you were in Vegas.
I went to Vegas too. I should have betted for the Phillies. There's a lot of things that I was doing there, and I was like, man, this is my kind of spot. But I didn't. I was just trying to have fun. My dad needed to get his stress out. Yeah.
I thought you went to Vegas because you got the prediction correct, so you went to.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Jose like, hey, look, because I was like in the betting areas and stuff with all the games and stuff. Like, I was like, man, I do feel kind of lucky, man. Like I was watching those like baseball games.
Might as well.
I mean, yeah, my dad keeps telling me, might as well just bet. But nah, look at these guys. It's like Sunday, 7:00 in the afternoon. And, these guys are like betting. They're betting like horse racing from Thailand and stuff. Nah, I'm good. I can see how this could lead to that. Like next thing I'll be like there at 3 a.m, betting like badminton games or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I said away from that because the only thing I won is $2 in my whole life. So no.
Yeah, no.
Betting is not for me.
I don't think
No,
me
not
either,
for
man.
everybody.
I just get lucky with Leon.
Moving along, right before we talk about a possible lineup against Toronto, quick rundown of the jornada. Really dull and snoozer. Necaxa versus Pumas. Pumas ended up winning 1-0. They got really lucky. I don't know how Pumas does it. They just have this
very
sort of
lucky.
luck.
Wait, you thought that was a snoozer?
I mean, it was just the first half. I took a nap because it was
I think I watched like the second half and I was like, yo, this is a good game.
No, the first half was just like it's puro pelotazo. It was just the boringest. Like no,
Okay.
But Pumas got lucky.
Has that fama of playing kind of boring for a while now.
They do, and they get lucky,
and they get the job done, I guess. But yeah, I don't like that game.
No, Juarez winning 2-1 over San Luis.
Very much needed.
Atlas 3-1. Javi got the prediction correct. And guys, Cruz Azul versus Chivas.
Oh god.
Cruz Azul equalizing the 12 victorias. Vucetich is probably
you have one job. You have one job.
Yeah. It's all good. I don't really care.
You didn't do it. Nah, you.
Yeah, because we can use what they use against us. Like, so what? You got 12 victories. Is that a star? You got a championship? What they kept like saying, so what? You got. So look, and another thing, like I don't think it's Leon and Cruz Azul with the record, because I've been posting this on. I posted this on Facebook, and some people, some 12 Necaxa fans came at me. I'm like, look, man. If really Necaxa has the record too, then we're gonna start counting all these Liga Amateur trophies. He's like, well, should we count? From your logic, we shouldn't even count the years of the teams that were existing before the Era Profesional. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I said, look, if Necaxa was actually with that, what you're saying, they would have more than 3 stars in su escudo. Like they don't count their títulos de la Era, amateur. So that I mean. But, I think the record is really strictly for, of course, Leon and Cruz Azul. I think it has more merit than doing it in 1934 when it wasn't even a Torneo Nacional. It was like pretty much like 10 teams from the capital and like 2 from Jalisco. And Necaxa, what they did was all right. But look, I think this is the record to be the team that should be acknowledged is Leon and Cruz Azul. Good job. But still, it's not going to give you, it's not a guarantee you're going to be campeón. And I think that game against America, man, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tigres losing, playing with 9 men at some point. And obviously our favorite player, Pedro Aquino, sarcastically speaking, having a goal. 3-1 defeat for Tigres from America. Monterrey beating Toluca 2-1. Querétaro, like Louis had mentioned, versus Santos, beating them 1-0. And Mazatlán beating Xolos. Guedes said, bye, guys. I cannot anymore.
He resigned?
Yeah, he resigned.
Mutual agreement to part ways.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dude. I mean, did you guys watch the game? They were up 2-0.
Yeah. I told my dad. Yeah,
that's a mistake personally. They're not going to get anybody better than Pablo Guedes to finish the season, and they're still in the repechaje place.
They're still in the repechaje.
They should just kept him. He's on a 1-year contract. Like literally, just might as well finish him off with the season. But I think I don't know. Again, it's maybe a mental thing that he just couldn't. But Xolos is a team that they acquire so many players. It's just they don't know what to do with them.
I mean, yeah.
I was just happy with the one for sure.
Getting rid of Aguirre, that's a move by a team that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
like that's just that's a
bad move, TJ.
That's
bad
an equipo chico move.
Well, they have a history with Piojo Herrera, so
might as well bring him back.
You think he has to move? Like that could be it. Yeah, I can see that.
He's
I
a
did like
favorite,
Los
I
Heights
believe.
and
Piojo
Piojo, they kind of like each other
Cholos
sometimes.
era. I did enjoy it. This is
I can
when
see Hines hugging Piojo.
was-
It could
he
happen.
was okay as a person. I do not like Piojo personally, but
Nah,
Xolos.
you love him.
No. But Piojo with Xolos was a good.
No caía tan mal, pero he was yeah.
No,
he
me
did
cae
his- he
mal.
did his- But
I mean-
the Piojo from Cholos was like,
I mean,
was
but then
like,
you have
it's like
Jairo
Piojo de
Moreno.
Monterrey. It was.
Well,
Piojo was alright before
was
he got to America.
more humble.
That's just honest. Yeah, well, he was just he was different because there was that one moment when he was I think it was técnico. I want to say. I think it was if it wasn't Tijuana, it was some other team like Veracruz or something. When they asked him about America, and he's always been muy atlantista, so he was saying like he will never be coach of America. And when he was having these declaraciones, he was kind of liked. But now it's like, especially that's what like he's been attacked for, like Jose Ramon Fernandez, like you straight up say you never be America's coach, and here you are being America's coach.
Mhm.
And that was just the thing that people started hating him for, and then other things, just him never acknowledging when he lost was because he probably made a mistake in algo. He's always saying los árbitros. I have never seen any coach like that. Like it was like, dude, every game you have to start attacking the referee. Like, come on, man, just say for once, all right, it was my bad. I've never seen him do that.
That will never happen. And
yeah,
I
so
can see Xolos bringing him back. So.
I can see that too. And you know what? It'll be fitting because I don't like Cholos, and I've been saying it for a while. I don't like Cholos. I hate Cholos. I just don't like Cholos. I grew up in San Diego, and I have a León jersey, and I don't like them. But Mazatlan is a team that I'm always been like, I'm not gonna hate them because my mom is from Villa Union, which is Mazatlan pretty much, and my grandfather just passed away. So I was telling my dad when they were down 2-0, watch Mazatlan win. And I kept saying, my dad he thought I was like,
you should have betted in Vegas. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was telling my dad, I thought I meter goal. And then in that play, meten goal. I'm like, goal. Para ti, abuelito. And he was like, you're crazy, man. He's like, really? Like, how did you, like, he thought that I was like cheating, like getting, like, no, dad, like, I was just saying, I don't like TJ. I want them to really, really lose. Y Lenzo que mete gol último minuto. I'm like, whoa, I'm just going to not talk anymore. Okay, I'm scared. But yeah, that was for my grandpas. But yeah, like how I see like Mazatlan, good job. I think I like San Beso a lot as a player. I think they have an interesting team. I think they might even make it to repechaje. Who knows? Yeah. I can see them taking a spot from like Pumas or Chivas or Pachuca. Like they better step their game up. Even Tigres, yeah. Although I think Tigres has a couple. Well, they have El Clásico still, but they got a couple of easy teams. They got Bravos next.
That's one player that I would have liked to come to León. San Beso?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. He'll be a great fit for León, I think.
So,
but, yeah.
Nope. And then upcoming matchup, it's Pachuca versus Puebla. It's starting now, so hopefully we'll wrap this up so we can let you guys go. We already kind of mentioned a couple of a possible strong 11 for Toronto matchup midweek. Guys, I know we had talked about the first matchup. I mean, me and Jose, for the most part, felt it like a loss, even though it was a draw. Didn't benefit us, and as much as we wanted to. What are we thinking this second leg? And could we see a repeat of the first lineup?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we'll see.
They gotta go for it, and that's as strong as we have. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the same lineup.
So I think everyone who played a full 90.
I'm trying to think.
I think everyone who played a full 90 against Atlas isn't going to start. So for example, Joe Campbell, he started. Did he come off? I can't remember. Yeah, he came off.
He came off.
So I don't think he's going to start against Toronto because he already has.
Will Davila start?
Davila's going to start because he was on the bench for the whole game.
Mena Meneses will start for sure.
Yeah, they only
got a couple minutes.
Eminem starts.
Yes. I even think, honestly, guys, and I know Louis is going to hate me, but I think Osby's going to start too.
Over Yaito,
yeah.
I can see that.
Then we have Tecillo, Barreiro, and Avion.
And will we have Colombato Montes?
Colombato, because now we have Montes back.
Who's going to do with Davila?
Huh?
Who's going to do with Davila? Because we have Montes, Colombato, and then we got Meneses, Mena,
Navarro.
Davila. Navarro.
Yeah, Navarro has good.
Navarro.
And Gil
Navarro.
Killer on the right.
No.
No, that's
I
what
mean,
I
on the
think.
right.
He's gonna be convocado,
Avion,
but
okay.
I don't think he's gonna play.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see Colombato, Navarro, Chapo, and then yeah, it has actually a very
And Eminem.
it's a great lineup right there actually.
Yeah.
So,
Because
okay, so
it would be first time
defense-wise,
Colombato and Montes, man.
so we're saying Osby,
No,
Tecillo, Barreiro, and Avion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
that's what I think too.
we're
Anything
not
other than
starting
that is a
Jairo?
surprise.
I think Jairo will start over Osby. Sorry.
Okay.
That would be nice.
I agree
either
with
either
Louis.
one.
I
Let's
agree with
go.
Louis. I
Okay.
think Jairo starts this matchup.
I think the
Okay.
Jairo thing will be more si está en condiciones to like,
Because
better
think
ritmo.
about it. I mean,
But I'd
literally,
much
we
rather
have
have
to
Jairo.
go out. We have to go out and score. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
no,
also,
we
he
can't.
he played really well against Toronto in leg one. Like, they don't really have an answer for him.
Yeah.
So-
man, that's gonna be
I think he'll start.
I
We
don't
have to
That'll be
get
the first
really
time that
cold.
if it is Jairo, Tecillo, Barreiro, and then Avion, and then of course Colombato, Navarro, Montes, then Eminem, and on top Davila, that'll be the first time they played like that, right? Because I don't think since Colombato and Montes, especially since Montes didn't play last game against Toronto, they've never started like that. And I think
In
that's like the most.
CCL or regular season?
I think in regular season.
No, they
I
have.
think they have in
We've
regular
seen
season.
Montes and Colombato together. We see the Montes, Colombato, and Navarrito as well, all together.
But have we seen it with Jairo?
No.
No.
Oh,
That's what
no.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is the first time like this lineup can really be like. I was like, oh, you know what? That's like if put it in this way, like all of our players are healthy, like just forget that they're out of sync or anything, just healthy, and you can pick a lineup for like una final. That'll be mine. That'll be my lineup right there. Like for a lineup for una final, like if they were all healthy. I'm trying to, because unless Campbell, but I like him more as a super sub. I think that's his thing, man. I think he's a super sub.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
know,
Puebla just scored a really nice goal. 2
Are
minutes
you
into the
serious?
game against Pachuca. Yeah.
I don't want Puebla to win because I want Leon to qualify in the top four.
That's not a good. Puebla winning is not a good result for our table positioning.
no.
But
It's not good.
that's
It's not good. That's
so
why the
the
Mazatlán
reality of the
Tijuana.
situation.
So we need.
That's why
So we need
Sorry.
either a draw or Pachuca.
Pachuca come through. That's why
Pachuca better come
that Mazatlan versus Tijuana game. That's why Mazatlan winning was good because I didn't want TJ to. They would have been like 1 point away from Leon, I think, if they would have won. So I kind of like the fact that Mazatlan won. So I kind of want Pachuca to come through. Come on, Pachuca, you can't let Puebla beat you.
Yeah.
Because Pachuca
Not a
Pachuca
good
won't
start
make
for our prospects of getting the fourth position, but no,
I
we
mean,
still got a chance.
Yeah, we still got. I think we can, man. I think Leon can qualify at fourth. I think probably Monterrey, and then
Possible.
I want Leon
Yeah,
fourth.
it's definitely possible. It's just I mean, it depends on all the other teams. Yeah,
Well, Puebla
and-
is like
and-
the one that's
and what we
most
can do.
dangerous.
but yeah, definitely. I mean, with the momentum we have, yeah, it's definitely
También
possible.
porque perdió Santos, like all that's telling me, like, hey, all these resultados para que maybe Leon could be in the fourth. But yeah,
Mhm.
Santos losing was a good thing for Leon.
Yeah,
Puebla, come on, you gotta lose so it could be almost a perfect week for Leon.
like I don't know, but at least in terms of form, I think isn't it León besides Cruz Azul y América the team that's more informed right now?
Sí, ellos que tienen
Yeah,
como una
for sure.
rachita. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if we
Good
don't,
at that point.
I'll be surprised because all the other teams are in the besides those two are dropping points and
Yeah, Toluca losing against Monterrey. Yeah, I think Monterrey with that is kind of also separating themselves from the rest. But still, Monterrey is not a team that. I'm not gonna speak on Monterrey still. I think they're like they go up and down. No, it's because it's like Javier Aguirre is well, the same thing he said
Unpredictable?
about Solari.
Too
No,
inconsistent.
he just got there, so I'm not gonna be like, you
Mm.
know what I mean, like it's still like Solari just got there too and whatnot. Pero they beat a Toluca. I kind of liked the game. I liked it more because I like this era. It's pretty much gonna end though, but this COVID era of you can hear everything what they're saying, all the coaches, todos los gritos. It's like a great insight to what like a real game is. What kind of things that they say to each other. Javier Aguirre saying to, I forget who, Carlos, I think it was Carlos Rodriguez, dame 10 más, te pido 10 minutos más. Like, it's just him coaching, you know what I mean? Like, I like that. I like hearing all the, because you would have never been able to hear any of that with people on the stands. So that was a good. I enjoyed that game. So I think Monterrey is gonna, they're getting their, and then of course they still got their clásico, and I think emotionally for those two teams, that kind of always decides if they're gonna be closing good or not. Closing con todo, or like you don't want to lose a clásico for a liguilla, especially if Tigres loses it. They can also say goodbye to a repechaje. So I think it's going to be a great couple of weeks. Y arriba la Fiera. we're gonna get those
podcast yet.
No, I'm just saying we're gonna get those 3 wins. We're gonna get those 3 wins, and then it's gonna be like 7. We're gonna be on a 7 winning streak, and then we're gonna qualify in the top 4. I already said it, and then we're gonna get el partido de cuartos, semis, final.
Not done yet. Ignore Javier.
No, I'm just saying we're gonna get those 3 wins, and then we're gonna have 7 consecutive wins. Watch, and then that's gonna be more dangerous. Closing like that. Watch out, American Cruz Azul.
Yeah, are you on
I'm
drugs?
not scared. No, I'm straight. I'm just very tired.
All right.
And that's actually
energy.
That's actually what I've always been saying. I've been saying that, like, even in the chat room. Like, I think León is probably gonna get those 3 wins. They're very winnable. And closing like that, man, are you kidding me? Like, that's more dangerous than anything. I don't think America is gonna keep that rhythm, because I'm telling you, like, Conca Champions is gonna slow a lot of teams down. Yes, León is included in that, and if they do pass, they're probably going to face Cruz Azul. But Cruz Azul doesn't want the Conca Champions. That's why I'm not scared if they do face each other. But first, they got to beat Toronto.
Definitely.
Jose, I'm pretty sure Cruz Azul wants La Liga, not La Conca Champions.
Yeah.
We saw it against Haiti.
Yeah, they played terrible.
Yeah, we saw that. They said they're like their C team.
Are they even gonna play the game? Because I thought that
I think sí viajó. Creo que sí viajó, no. Al final del día sí viajó el equipo de Haiti. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. But what I'm saying is, like, if they're gonna face León, I don't think they're gonna really take that game. Look, I think León wants to focus more. I think, in my opinion, I think we know this. This game against Toronto has to be the most important game León will ever play again in their history. It used to be the game against LAFC in LA, and that was horrible. That was like the worst game they could have ever played for what for lo que significaba. And this is a game that's very important, because going to the next round is something León has never done. People say, "Oh, but in the past, in '77,
we have.
No. When?
Wait, in Conca Champions?
Yeah.
But but the problem is, before
it was like a straight up one game elimination.
Yeah, but and plus, when they got to that stage, a couple of teams withdrew, so they didn't even play the teams. They just went.
They didn't play. They went straight to a final and they lost.
And the other one, they were playing not like a knockout stage. They were doing like a group stage, and whoever got first, that's who won. And León came up in second, and I believe it was a Costa Rican team that won.
Yeah, it was Costa Rican team. Yeah, it was like the one in '77, and I think the one in '93. And there's another one, I think, even in when they went runner-ups in '97. And then we had the one with Matosas, which was also a horrible campaign in Conca Champions.
But a sweet jersey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
For
so
me,
what I'm saying is, I think Conca Champions has never been this competitive, so therefore these games are more important than those games. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, if they do win this game against an MLS team, and then it's important. It's important. I think León has to win that international trophy. And Cruz Azul doesn't have to. They have like 5 or 7 Conca Champions.
For us, it's more important as a club to get the CCL, because first of all, we never even gone past, like you mentioned, we never gone past the first round. Siempre nos quedamos in either on group stage or in the round of 16. And when we have made it in past, not in recent CCLs, in the past editions, siempre nos quedamos a la orilla. So
quedamos corto.
we
We can't lose. against
For
an
Leon,
MLS team
and
because of the bragging rights.
it's not only CCL. For Leon, it's been CCL and Libertadores. Siempre nos quedamos en orilla.
Yeah.
And
So-
doubles, right?
Yeah, so for Leon, I think it's more important because of the need of internationalization.
Mhm.
It's that's like the thing that the Martinez have been craving for years, and we haven't gotten it because we always get knocked out.
Something happens, right? Something happens.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous happens. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think this game has to be looked as that. It has to be looked as that. Whether it is or it isn't, it has to really be looked as the most important game in your club's history. You can't lose against an MLS team. The bragging rights is more important at this point too, as well. That's
sure.
everybody. They're all talking about that right now. El
guys,
partido más
Well, you know what
atractivo.
else? You know what else is a bragging right? Is La Novena, because Cruz Azul is looking for their novena too, right?
Yeah.
So how are they, a big team if we have 9 before them?
That's great. That's great. I
That's
mean,
another
Toluca did it
topic
too.
of discussion for
We'll
sure.
Toluca did it too.
We'll discuss
Or-
that. I
Yeah.
don't want an answer, Javier, because I know you'll go on for like 2 hours.
Well, what
But-
they
I mean, I don't think that's the Toluca already has 10, and they're not considered
Yeah.
big. So
They're not considered big.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
that's
think-
really a theme.
I
But
guess
if
we
Leon
have to
Leon
talk
wins a
about that in
bicampeonato,
another pod
If-
about pointing them against each other for sure.
but if Leon wins a bicampeonato, I think that's even more historic. That'll be the third bicampeonato.
if we really say what's different is what they have over us, it's the international
Yeah.
trophies.
Siete
We don't have any
Conca
international
Champions.
trophies.
Y una final de Libertadores.
Mhm.
They know
Yeah.
who Cruz Azul is.
And we haven't even gone to what is it? Past the round of 16 in Copa Libertadores. So
Definitely. Guys, let's go ahead and go into prediction time. Courtesy by Louis.
Prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time.
Prediction time. Second leg of CCL for Leon. Midweek game. Early, wherever you're watching, whatever coast you're watching, early matchup. 1-1 draw. First matchup. Prediction time for the second leg. Louis, go ahead.
okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with a 2-0, 2-0 Leon win, and advancement to the quarterfinal. Toronto, I think they're still gonna have some key players missing. And I just read today that Altidore is also going to be out.
good.
He was kind of dangerous against us in leg 1. At least he had a couple of dangerous chances, but he's out. He's going to be out injured. That's a big hole to fill for Toronto. It's not going to be a home game for them. There's not going to be any fans. I mean, it's actually kind of comical that such an important match is being played in the venue that it's being played in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that will only help Leon. I also think Leon is going to be extremely motivated. Just the way the team looks after this win against Atlas, it reminded me of the time that they went to Juarez and beat Juarez 4-1, and just everybody was in super high spirits and like brimming with confidence, but not like overconfidence, just real confidence. Like they're really confident about the state of the team. They're going to have a full squad. I mean, they'll have Montes back in the middle running the show. They'll first choice lineup. Everybody's rested. And they know what this means. And I think they're going to go in and get the job done. Maybe not as, I don't know. I'd like to say 5-0, 4-0. I mean, something like that, but I'm not going to. I think they're going to go in and it's going to be a nice solid win, nice solid advancement, but it's going to be 2-0. 2-0 Leon.
2-0. Jose.
Difficult.
I feel like you always get so anxious, Jose.
I don't know why. I don't know what to predict for this though. I'm just gonna go for what I wanted. What I want to see. So I want them to score the goals that they didn't score here. So I want them to at least come out with a 3-0.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's what I want.
3-0. Jose's very ambitious scoreboard.
Okay.
Javiercito, Keep it 30 seconds, please.
I like that.
What is your prediction?
I'm gonna give it how I feel I have to give it. Here's the point. I think everything that happened in that Toronto game to me was a blessing in disguise. Period. I think the worst thing that could happen to Leon last season was to win 2-0, be overconfident and traicionando su estilo Ambriz. That's not going to happen because I think Ambriz knows exactly what he has to do based on what happened against the game on Atlas. I like everything that happened on that game because it's kind of what I felt was supposed to happen. So with this game against Toronto, especially knowing that, Altidor's not going to play and other factors and Montes is back and they're playing in Florida, I really do think Leon is going to have an easier time than the last play. So I think it's going to be a 4-1. I think Leon va a meter todo.
And I thought it was ambitious. Man.
Todo lo que falló against Toronto and Leon, I think that's going to add more pressure to Toronto.
Wow.
I think Leon is, I can see Leon scoring a lot of games. I wanted to make a statement. Again, this is what I want to see, not Vegas, Javier. I want to see them destroying Toronto, an MLS team, and having people talking about Leon again, how they're supposed to.
I do agree that they need to make a statement, though, Javier. Yeah. So I do agree with you that.
I mean, this is what I want to see. Again, I don't really. What's the point of 1-0? Cuándo bien safe. I think 4-1 is. I think that's what I want to see.
4-1. Carlos.
I'm gonna be more realistic here, not super ambitious like Javier and Jose. I think it'll be 2-0, like Louis said. They're missing a very key player. I don't know if Altidore is their main source of goals, but yeah, I mean, if you can't score against us in the away leg, then and your best striker is missing, you're probably not going to score against us in the return leg. So I'm gonna keep it to 2-0, and it'll be a pretty easy match, I think.
Okay. Carlos says 2-0. Carlos and Louis, same 2-0. Jose 3-0. Javi 4-1. I'm actually gonna go with Jose, and I'm gonna say 3-0. I don't think they're gonna score, and I think they better.
Sorry, that's not logical. That's not realistic.
Hey, I've been unrealistic, and
I think that's more likely though. I'm being sarcastic because Carlos said that's not realistic. I think Leon against this team is they didn't do anything, So I think you're right, Carly. That's a great. I kind of want to switch now.
No,
you can't.
It's very unrealistic. 4-1 is very unrealistic, but I'll keep it 4-1. I'll keep it 4-1.
Javi will keep it 4-1. He's had done this so many times. No, you keep it 4-1.
I get mine's right though, and Jose has gotten one right too.
You hit it. So guys, our predictions are: we predict a win for Leon against Toronto. We will see what happens. If Leon wins, catch us after post game. We'll be talking about that second leg, our reactions, and what we saw. If otherwise, which we're going to talk about, I'm going to knock on wood. We'll podcast on Wednesday. So just keep an eye out on. Thursday. Sorry. Keep an eye out during the game. If you guys can't watch the game for any reason, make sure to follow Club Leon EN, updated with all the live action. If you miss goals, you can catch them right there. We'll all pretty much be live tweeting. Catch Louis. No, Louis won't be going, unfortunately.
I will not. I will not be going to this one, sadly. I'm
pretty like I'm here, ready to watch my TV.
Send a hologram. You just sound like a hologram or something.
Well, I mean, it's been
cardboard cutout of Louis needs to be.
Someone do that.
I mean, it's been 5 straight matches now. Attended live. I've gotten used to it. I'm just like that. After not being able to go, now I've racked up 5 straight matches live. So I really don't want to watch it on TV. I hate having to watch it on TV, but I'll be watching it on TV.
Talk to your boy Rodrigo Fernandez so you can put a cutout, man. Like
cardboard cutout. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. Louis, take Louis on the plane. Louis having breakfast. Louis outside the stadium.
Come on, man, you're Fiera viajero, bro.
They're already there.
You should have gone to the airport and given a life size. Should have given it to like Chapo. Here, man. You know me. You always take pictures with me.
Take a picture with me everywhere you go. No, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, don't forget to catch Leon's second leg midweek versus Toronto. Hopefully a positive result. Let us know what your thoughts are. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, episode 74, Magic Touch, and the second leg of CCL. Don't forget to join us. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. If you missed this podcast, you can rewatch it live on YouTube. Or you can catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcast. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it's a Victory Wednesday, and we'll catch you guys on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast. Now you can say Arriba la Fiera.
Arriba la Fiera.